So a week ago, we started a Pyment, and I changed my mind about a couple of things. So we're going to show you what we're doing. Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Derica, and you're watching City Steading Brews. Today, we're a little early on our Pyment update, but there's reasons, and Brian's going to explain.
After I made this and said I'm going to put it under my desk for a month, that day I thought about it and said, I added a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of tannins, there's a lot of shells, there's a lot of seeds. Ooh, that worried me a little bit. It's not so much mold, although that's somewhat of a worry too. I know there's lots of fermentation going on in there. I've pushed the cap down several times, stirred it up several times. I know what's going on in there. It's working. But it concerned me a little bit that it might get overly tannic. So I thought, okay, it's been a week. Let's remove the solids and try to put it into a glass fermenter. If it's too much, we'll put it back in here. Now, when I say too much, remember I made over a gallon, hoping to get a gallon. So let's see how good my measurements were.
Now, when Brian talks about too much tannins, if you remember, instead of making a tea by steeping the grape leaves in water, in hot water, making a tea and then dumping the liquid in there, we just put the straight dried grape leaves right in our mixture. So they've been steeping this whole time.
As well as the skins and seeds and all that stuff. So I don't want to have too much in there, so that's why we're doing this.
So we're using this colander, which, as you can see, has fairly large holes. We chose that on purpose, one, because it fits our bucket nicely, and two, because we don't mind if some of the sediment falls through.
Yep.
We're hoping...
We actually are not making this a secondary fermentation. This is still primary fermentation, just so you're aware. I just want to get a lot of the solids out so it doesn't continue making more tannins, but I don't want to stop fermentation. That's why it's not really a racking. You'll see.
Also, why we're not using a super fine sieve is because we don't want to remove any of the yeast particles because we want that fermentation to continue.
Exactly. However, I do think I want some sort of a scoop.
Okay.
Be right back. Okay, so I got this thing, whatever you want to call it. We just sanitized it in
the red bucket of sanitization!
So what I'm going to do is bring over our bucket of stuff. And as you can see, if you look in there, you can see a lot of the skins and the seeds. Let me see what you're seeing. Hold on. So you can see all the skins and seeds and everything in there. And if I stir this up, watch. See all that fizz? That's CO2 gas coming out. We know that, oh wow, it smells boozy too. So we know there's fermentation happening here. And I'm okay with stirring this all up. There was no mold or anything like that. So all I want to do is just start scraping off some of these solids before I pour things. And the other reason why we used a big colander like that is there's a lot of stuff here. I didn't want it to be too small. So didn't want anything to fall out into the brew, that sort of thing. This is probably going to get a little boring, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Here. Okay, so now I'm just going to swap places because I'm left-handed. Now, Derica was saying off camera that she wanted to dump this out before we do this. I don't really think there's much difference, and I'd like to rinse out some more of that stuff rather than just throw everything away. So we're just going to have at it, pour it.
Oh, the seeds are on the bottom.
Well, this will also track the seeds rather than having them go through. So I'm thinking, in hindsight, it's probably a good idea to just leave it. Stir it up a little. Oh wow, look at all the solids that came up when I did that. That's the sediment and yeast and things like that were starting to hit the bottom. Now, before anyone gets nervous about oxidization, we are still in primary. And if you were sitting here, you would smell the scents coming off here. There is plenty of CO2 being produced to prevent oxidization. And, you know, you can shake up brews and things like that. It's okay. We don't generally do it, but again, like we said last time, I'm trying to show you guys different methods. And I'll just shut up while this is pouring. Okay, so now it's all poured in. There's some seeds left in here. We're not gonna worry about those. We don't really want the seeds anyway. I'll let this drain for a little bit. Once it's done, we'll be back. All right. So this is drained. My initial idea was to, at this point, take this and put it into one of these. However, I overestimated, and the level of this is about here, which makes that more than a gallon. I don't want to waste any, so we're not going to worry about that. We're going to put it in this bucket. We're going to put an airlock on that bucket and let it do its thing. It's still considered primary fermentation, so really simple. We're just going to take this guy out after getting all those last few drops out. Put that over there. That's going to go in the compost or feed it to the chickens or whatever. And as you can see in here, we have mostly liquid here. There's a couple solids. I'm not too worried about that, but we are going to put the lid on, and we already have an airlock fitted, and I'm going to put it over here because I like to be able to carry it by the handle. And if you put it the other way, you can't do that. So that's why I do it this way. I'm going to clamp this guy down. Now, my buckets don't seal. It didn't seal the last time either, and I'm not all that concerned. Can you take the airlock out for just a quick second? It's a lot easier to put these on without the airlock. 2020, you know? All right, seal down the bucket. I think it's sealed as good as it's going to be. All right, jam the airlock in there. Something like that. And yeah, it's not going to seal. It's okay. So I'm just going to take my sticker. I'm going to put it on this bucket now. So now this is our primary fermenter. Now this will go under my desk for probably 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll let you know how that goes. If you like this video, make sure to give us a like. If you like what we're doing here, hit subscribe. And if you want to be involved in all the super secret stuff that happens behind the scenes, and coincidentally find out what we're eating for dinner most nights, join our VIP club by signing up through Patreon or Subscribestar. And as always, guys, have a great day.
Bye-bye.